Welcome to Sound of Hope News. I'm your host Wei Fang, and
this is Kathy Zhang.
And you're Chinese American journalist from San Francisco, California. All right, as the headline suggests, what is Trump's doing? Actually, there was a news that from the Twitter. Okay, President Trump had his best sleep after some rest, but now what is up to? His advisor revealed that his priority in the next 2 months and the next 2 years. Okay, and then Pompeo actually tweeted something and got everybody guessing his next move. That's what we want to cover too. And then this is the second day of the Biden presidency, and he's reversing a number of Trump's policies. And what are they? What do you need to know? What has to do with, what does it has to do with your life? And after the media and the big tech censored and mislead people, what do people think about them? 2 surveys, 2 polls will shed some light on that. All right, with no further ado, and let's just get into the topic. Let's talk about, the Parler. Let's first talk about Parler, right?
Okay, yeah, so an update on the Parler lawsuit. So we all knew that Parler brought a lawsuit against Amazon Web Service. So today, the U.S. District Judge Barbara Rothstein in Seattle, she actually rejected Parler's demand that Amazon.com Inc. restore its web hosting service. The judge said that the reason is Parler failed to show it was likely to prevail on the merit of its claim, or that the public interest supported granting an injunction requiring the restoration of the service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's, Parler, but we already know that Parler has a web service right now with the Epic.
Yeah, let's see whether they will be stopped. And, possible the final reason is, let's see. We all hope that Parler will not be stopped. Actually, Twitter would be stopped someday. And then, so before we move on, Kathy, I really want to, I just feel like saying this, okay? We got Joe Donzi said hi from Miami Beach, and Love, Wei, and Kathy.
Oh, and from Jennifer from Ohio. Hello.
And the Rat from, yes. And, and Dr.
And
Watson.
Judy from Iowa.
Good, and good evening from Oklahoma. Wow. What a warm feeling that I have now.
Yeah, and Rick from Texas. Thank you.
Oh, and Judy had from Iowa. I have to say that both of us from Iowa, actually. We went to University of Iowa.
Yeah.
In case we did not reveal before. All right, thank you. Remember to click the like and so that we can propel this show.
Yeah, and we have Jeffrey from New Jersey and another friend from Taipei. Hello.
Yeah. And great to have you guys.
Great to have you guys.
Yeah, I know it's a long time. Yeah, but life goes on. And actually, as media, we need to carry on. This is even more important for us to carry on. And we'll explain the reason, okay?
Yeah, and you may notice our background changed. Yeah, because the election season just formally ended. And so we just changed our background. So how do you like it? Let us know.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's talk about the first poll, right? Mm-hmm. So after Parler, so how do people think about those big tech companies? Is there any data there, Kathy?
Yeah. So how Americans feel about the big techs, their power in the U.S. Should their power be limited? So actually, the most recent poll shows that the vast majority of our voters think that the government should rein in the powers of big tech companies in the U.S. So that's according to new Just the News daily poll with Scott Rasmussen. So in total, you can see that 81% of the voters said that it's important to limit the power of big tech companies in America. And total only 8% disagreed, and 11% were not sure. So we all know those big tech companies such as Apple, Facebook, Google, Twitter have come under increasing scrutiny about censoring third-party content, and just took advantage of the Section 230. And especially after Twitter permanently banned Donald Trump in the final days of his presidency. And Google, Apple recently suspended the Parler, which we just talked about it, and so from their app store. Big techs also come under scrutiny for collecting data from users and limiting the content they see. So this poll was conducted between January 14th to January 16th, and about 1,200 voters. They're aged between 18 to 55 plus. So if we look at their composition of the people who took the survey, 31% are weighted as Republicans, 37 Democrats, 31% other parties. And to answer this question, whether the big tech companies' power should be limited, the distribution among those parties is like this. So for the Republicans, 88% just feel that they should be limited. And then for Democrats, 77%, and other parties, 78%. It's very interesting among the male and the females. Actually, they have a little bit more female who took the survey at about 52%, but actually 78% of the female feel that way, and more male, about 84% of them feel that the big tech companies' power need to be limited.
Okay. Apparently, they don't have the public trust right now, and in the meantime, a number of small tech companies are just ramping up really quickly and getting the market share from them. And as we remind you before, Safe Chat is where we host our channel here. And actually, as of yesterday, we heard of, and this morning, unfortunately, I heard a slew of bad news about some other YouTubers. They were censored. They were demonetized. Entire channel, even have like 600,000 subscribers, were demonetized. It was really, really devastating to them. Anyway, so we are still here, and in the meantime, we need to all support those small tech company for them to grow bigger, so that they can serve as the alternative platform. I just wish that YouTube would never come to censor us because we are doing a good media job. We will have nothing that they should censor on. Anyway, so let's move on to another poll on the media. Okay, Edelman Trust is a company that has been measuring public trust in government, media, and the big corporation for 20 years. Okay, they release a something called Edelman Trust barometer every year. So this year, the barometer shows that the trust in traditional media and the social media are at all-time low. Okay, so specifically, hear me out. 56% of the Americans agree with the following: journalists and reporters are purposely trying to mislead people by saying things they know that are false or gross exaggerations. 58% think that most news organizations are more concerned with supporting an ideology or political position than with informing the public. The third, and let's break down, right? Okay, we're talking about nearly 60% people, don't like media, don't trust media. And among them, 57% of the Democrats trust the media, and only 18% of the Republicans trust them. So basically, media is really undermining themselves, and that's why we're here. We're here to try to restore the honor of the media and establish a new generation of media with your help. All right, let's move to Biden's move. This is the second day of his presidency. He's walking back on a number of the Trump's policies. And in the first one, let's talk about the Keystone XL pipeline project, which we talked about a little bit yesterday. So Biden canceled that the pipeline, and actually the direct result is it would cost over 11,000 construction jobs, and 42,000 jobs throughout U.S. during the construction process. This is according to the State Department. Furthermore, it would cost 62,000 jobs in Canada, because this is about getting oil from the Alberta province and then run through the Midwest U.S. and to Louisiana and then to the Texas to the refinery. And just so you know that according to the data in the 2015, all right, so the Keystone XL pipeline would produce 1.3 million barrels of oils every day. So what does that mean? That's more than 1/8 of the entire oil production of the United States.
Wow.
That's 2.6 times of the United States oil export. It is that big. All right. Actually, the pipeline is really just how to say? It's just like a 3 feet. The diameter is just 3 feet, just something like that. Go through the underground, and then the developer has pledged that the project would have zero carbon emission, and there's no problem there. However, Biden still signed the EO and the executive order, and then revoked their permit. In the meantime, Biden also canceled the border wall construction, and which would take away 10,000 jobs right away. So talking about this, as we know that before and also Biden issued another order which would forbid the oil drilling in all the public land or say federal land. And remember, if you dial back about 4 to 5 months, there was this big debate or the fact finding between President Trump and the then Vice President Biden about whether he's going to stop fracking, right? He first said, I want to stop fracking. Then Trump challenged him. Then he said, I won't stop, I won't stop fracking. And as of yesterday, he stopped fracking. So there's comment on the web which says that all the politics can. You promise something, you do something else when you are in office. That is actually the political norm of our country. Only one president is quite an exception. As you know, Donald J. Trump. All right, that's the other news. And also there's other things like deregulation, okay? As you know, that Trump signed the reducing 2 executive order. One is called reducing regulations and controlling regulatory cost. And that was, repealed. And the other is expediting the environmental review and approval for high priority infrastructure projects. That was, called off too. What does that mean? Let me make it simple, okay? Deregulation, and how much regulation do we have? Do you know? In this called the Federal Register, they maintain all the government regulations. Trump, there was 38,000 pages. It's not measured by items.
38,000 pages.
38,000 pages during the Obama time. Trump reduced that to 21,000 pages. All right, that's Trump's accomplishment. It's almost like a 40% reduction, and it seems that Biden would walk back on that. All right, and Biden's spokesman said regulations are an important tool for the federal government to address the crisis facing the nation. Do you agree? Okay. The next thing is important that would impact on you. Okay, the Office of the Management and the Budget (OMB) estimate that the annual cost of federal regulation is about $140 billion. However, if you add the full compliance cost, economic and GDP losses, and the social cost, the price for those regulations is roughly $1.9 trillion. Wow. So we're going to see with the Keystone, as you see, we're talking about 1/8 of the entire U.S. oil production. You probably we have to see the rise of our energy, especially the gas price, and also our other kind of cost. So that's that. So about the State Department's website change.
Yeah, so there has always all kinds of changes. So we noticed that the new State Department website, okay, it had a big change. How it was changed? So this new website omitted describing the Chinese Communist Party as one of the department's main policy issues on its website. So the website is state.gov. And on it also revised China's country profile pages. So let's take a look. So let's just look at Z1. So that's the website menu, how it looked like. Okay, that's on January 19th. Okay, so on it you can see that.
If you look at
the
left column,
like
the fourth one.
Yeah, the fourth one is the China challenge, right? So that's in the total there are 23 items as the policy issues. And the first one you also notice the 5G security, and the fourth one is the China challenge. You can also see like the illegal immigration, Iran, a dangerous regime, Nicaragua, a return to democracy, and Venezuela, a democratic crisis. So these were included as the part of the 23 policy items for the Trump administration State Department. Then let's take a look at the new one, the new website. It's small, much less issues. So the China challenge issue disappeared. Okay, and also the 5G, the items that I just mentioned about Venezuela, Iran, Nicaragua, it's all gone. So previously, if you look at click on the China challenge issue, it will link to a page with a heading saying the Chinese Communist Party threatening global environmental abuse. Oh, sorry. So it says the Chinese Communist Party threatening global peace and security. Let's take a look at the Z3. So it provided a chronicle of regime's predatory economic practice, cohesive tactics abroad, military aggression, disregard for human rights, environmental abuse, and the undermining of global norms and values. So, but right now, it's all gone. So what you see right now on the screen was the country profile before January 20th. And then let's look at the current country profile. So now it all changed. It changed from the Chinese Communist Party threatening global peace and the security to which is now U.S. relation with China. So yeah, that does that indicate something? Everyone can just make your own judgment.
Mm-hmm. And also, another thing is that Chinese government actually is very interesting. 3 Chinese state-owned state-owned companies: China Mobile, China Unicom, and the China Telecom. These 3 companies, those are state-owned, they were delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. So actually, on the very day of Biden inauguration, and they reapplied through Hong Kong to ask the New York Stock Exchange to relist them. Okay, so and the New York Stock Exchange said, you can apply to our board, and then we need to get permission from the SEC. Okay, Stock and Exchange Commission. So people, the world is really focused on whether the Biden would relax that kind of would reverse the policy, allow them to again get it enlisted, and they were delisted because they were putting in the entity list because they provide support or material or resource to Chinese military, intelligence, and security. Okay, good and service to them. So as for Kathy, whether Biden would walk back on that, it remain interesting.
Right. We have to wait and see.
Right. If you ask me, I would say in the short run, they probably will not, because political climate does not permit such. So in the first day, and among the 15 executive orders and 2 executive action that Biden signed, none of them has to do with China. So we'll see what will happen. In the long run, I would say, I'm really uncertainty there. But in the short run, I think, okay, put on my commentator's hat, Biden probably will stay off that. And so as we move on, let's talk about, the next topic would be about Pompeo, right?
Pompeo?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Pompeo, the former Secretary of State Pompeo, just did something that really caught everybody's attention. So today, as his full day as a private citizen, former Secretary Pompeo did a tweet at 10:17 a.m. And it's only a few words saying 1,384 days. So that's his tweet. So that number happens to be the number of days until the next presidential election in November of 2024. So what does that mean? So a lot of people had a guess. So this tweet prompted, really a speculation whether he might have some interest in running for president in 2024. So, and this tweet really got some traction. And as of this morning, he had nearly like 922,000 followers in his personal tweet account. And so remember, Pompeo, he tweeted before he's stepping off the post. He said, "I will never stop fighting for America first, even after my time as Secretary of State."
Mm-hmm.
So that's in the morning. On Monday, on Monday. And he said that there's always been more work to be done, and I look forward to continue to share and engage with you on what's going to be next.
Yeah. And answering to the Chinese CCP, Chinese government's sanction of him, Pompeo spoke out as expected. He said, "It's my honor." It's my honor to be censored, which basically this is the Confucius word, right? As I shared with you the other day. And, if you are truly good people, if good people say you are good, and the bad people said you are bad, then you are really good people. And so before we move on to the next topic, which is what is the President Trump's move? I want to show you a few pictures. Okay, first let's play the F4, which is the Edelman's trust in the traditional media survey. As you can see that jump off a cliff. All right, just in the last 2 or 3 months. The public trust in traditional media.
It can still jump off the cliff. I thought it's already off the cliff.
There's still some cliff to jump, some more distance to jump. Now, another interesting thing is just how do we appraise that the first 2 days performance of President Biden in the White House. One critic that I read about is after he's signing off this executive order, saying that you must wear mask on the federal property, and then he was photographed that when he was in the Lincoln Memorial. Mm-hmm. He does not wear them. So take a look. There's a wide range of criticism about that. Just so you know. And another thing that.
But he's, by the way, his press secretary addressed that question.
Okay. So.
Yeah, what she said was, President Biden has bigger things to worry about.
That's a pretty. How you read that? I can issue an order. You all abide by this, but not me. So if Kathy, I'm inviting a question from Kathy. If Kathy asks me, just away, what do you think? How would you like comment on that? My word is one word: China. In China, we see too much such matter. Okay, they issue very beautiful, very beautifully worded, document policy. Everybody should go by it. They don't. The party does not. The party is always an exception, and so that's kind of the. We're seeing more and more here in this nation. It's very bad. I think we shall walk the talk. Our politicians should walk the talk. They should not always have two faces. Strictly require other people and then do the other things. In California, same thing, right? Our governors, he just issue very stern order, and then he break the thing behind the public, and he got caught. And after Biden administration took over the YouTube channel. For the White House, he put on a number of YouTubes. I think sometimes Biden really, I think he's pretty humble in terms of learning how President Trump does the public relation, things like that.
Okay.
So, but let's see what's the result. Okay, let's show the F2. This is yesterday. Okay, Biden put on this video after he signed the executive order and he spoke there. And then look at the top, lower right, the likes and the dislike, as you can see. There's 2.2 likes and 5.6K dislike. Mm-hmm. And then Biden also produced a 1 minute and like a 100-second, very short one, 1.5 minutes, okay, video, and then put that on the YouTube's channel, and and the title is, the headline is called "The Work Begins," as you can see, right? It is something that encourages Americans to unite and things like that. Good message. Let's look at the like and the dislike, 3K and 16K. And if you go to the White House channel, you're gonna see that 16K is already ramping up very quickly right now.
Oh.
So there's a lot of disapproval. And what I heard is they already took some video off because there are just too many dislikes. Well, we'll see. I won't say anything conclusive here. What I want to say is that this is just reality that we feel obligated to bring to your attention. Of course, now everybody's concerned that after good night's sleep by President Trump, what is he up to? What is he doing? What is he plan to do, Kathy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everybody remembered that at Joint Base Andrews on Wednesday, when President Trump had this send-off ceremony, the last sentence he said was, we love you, we'll come back in some form. So everybody just guessing what kind of form it could be, right? Mm-hmm. So nobody really knows. So today, President Trump's top campaign advisor, Jason Miller, told media that President Trump's goal for the next 2 years. So, yes, C1. So that's Jason Miller. So what's President Trump's goal for the next 2 years? So he said that actually, one is that for the next 2 years, that would include winning back the House and the Senate for Republicans in 2022. And Jason Miller also said that people would also expect to see former President Trump will be emerging as the nation's leader on ballot and the voting integrity in the coming months.
Hang on. Before Kathy move on, Joyce BK, one of our viewers, and you just typed, "We need to get the voting fraud fixes." All right, please continue. Mm-hmm. I think what you're answering, the news you are answering our viewers. Yeah.
Right. So Miller told Just the News that people may not expect such work to get done in Washington, D.C. because he said that the Democratic leaders may not take this issue seriously. He mentioned that since much of the debates in the past in last year's election was related to the abuse of the Article 2 of Constitution, as people also still remember that Article 2 of the Constitution refers to the only state legislature could set the rules for the election. So Jason Miller believes that Trump's forthcoming plan will entail working closely with individual states and their legislatures to ensure that validity and integrity of future American elections and the legal votes. So remember, Jason Miller was on the Air Force One with President Trump, at the final day. And he said that Trump has not yet made a decision about 2024, but he hopes to see Trump return to the White House for a second term in 2025. Then let's talk about, how the Republican Party's leaders or members are thinking about President Trump and the future of the party. So first of all, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham today, he said that, that's his quote, "Trump will be the strongest voice in the Republican Party for years to come." He told Fox News that if the party is going to survive, he said, we got to realize Trump had a consequential presidency for conservatives. He said Trump's got the strongest voice to the party, and he said, Lindsey Graham said, I realized that and I appreciate it. And he said the test, that's his word, the test for President Trump is if he will help the Republican Party in 2022 to take back the House and the Senate. Because he said without Trump's help, Republican Party could not do it. And he said I hope Trump won't start a third party because there has been the Wall Street Journal articles talking about the third party, right? So Lindsey Graham said that he hoped Trump won't do that, but stay as the leader of the Republican Party. He said that Trump's first term has been good 4 years for the conservatives. He talked about the conservative judges, rebuilding the military, securing the borders, historic peace agreement with the Middle East, such and such. So that's all the concerned issues for the conservatives. Lindsey Graham believes that Trump's legacy and the best future lies with the Republican Party. He said, I hope the Republican Party itself will realize that. He said if the party wants to erase Trump, he said the party will be erased because most of Republicans like Trump's policy. A lot of Republicans like his style, although some people were disappointed at Trump personally at times, but they all appreciate the outcome that Trump achieved for our country. So in conclusion, Lindsey Graham said that this idea of moving forward without Donald Trump in the Republican Party is a disaster for the party. And let's next to take a look at the House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy, how he thinks. So today, McCarthy was asked by Fox News host, who is the leader of the Republican Party right now? Although he didn't answer the question directly, but he said that he thought the former president had the ability to lead the party. So that's his direct quote. President Trump has been able to move us in the right direction, making America continue to build. What we find today is that Republicans as a whole listen to those voices that no one would listen on before. So that's why we have to continue, he said. He said the people are the leader of the Republican Party, and he thinks President Trump continue to have the ability to lead this party and unite. Mm-hmm. So that's from the leaders, Republican leaders from House and the Senate. And just last note. President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, said to media today that he feels that Trump will reform the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kathy, if you ask my opinion, and I would like to, put on my commentator's hat, and there's people saying that Trump needs to, because the Republican Party, didn't support him enough, right? Mm-hmm. So he should start a new party called the Patriot Party or Trump Party or whatever. If I ask my opinion, okay, as a non-Republican, okay, I'm not a partisan. I'm not a member of any party. What I would say is this, okay? Trump got 93 to 95% of the support rate in Republican Party. He has the party. In short, he has the party. He does not need to start a new party. Rather than just say, let's say, ask Trump to leave the Republican Party to start a new party, you might as well ask the Reynolds to leave the Republican Party, so that the Republican Party become the pure party. Anyway, that's just my comment. Anyway, I want to go back to a little bit to the earlier the word by Trump's advisor, Jason Miller. He said Trump's goal in the next 2 years, including winning back the House and the Senate for Republican in 2022, and to make sure that we can stop this democratic craziness, and the ways to specifically addressing the voting integrity issue, right? Voting integrity issue. What I want to say is this, okay? For those of you, watching us, 95% of you are Americans here, and how the election was conducted, right? It was conducted by each state specifically. It is conducted by each county. We got an election committee or election commission, however you call it, or election board of the county who decide whether we use this machine or that paper ballot. It is just around us, right? Our county. So 5% of people, active citizens, can change the public policy. This is the norm in this country. So I would say each of us has our job to do, because we all live in a county, don't we? We all live in a county, so we have our own job to do, while President Trump is addressing this very voting integrity, which I think is a very smart move. Each of us have our job to do. So
Yeah, no matter, I think no matter which political party or you are with, the voter integrity is something everybody should care about.
Think about that, right? If we don't have voter integrity, we don't have election. We don't have election, we don't have democracy. We don't have democracy, we don't have a nation, right? So this is something that both party, everybody shall address. We just do a honest, elections. And the next election is 22 months away. Folks, 22 months away.
Yeah, time just flies.
Very quickly. Yeah, so we shall get to the action. Each of us, each American, each patriot, or people on the left and on the right should insist on this voice. We need to have absolutely reliable, countable, verifiable, elections every 2 years. All right, I guess that will be it.
Yeah, I saw there are still viewers feel that Trump will start a third party. So maybe should we ask our viewers your opinion? Yeah, what do you think? You think Trump is the leader, will continue to be the leader of the Republican Party, or he will start a new party, or you have other opinions?
Yeah, could you we just want to do this, a quick survey, which will become our knowledge. And by the way, Jad, you said, yes, voter ID now. Yeah, I'm sure that would be part of the President Trump's agenda. And it should be the agenda of the entire people of our country, right? So yeah, voter ID and all of them, just tighten it up. I got viewers from my Chinese show, right? Those Taiwanese. They said it's unbelievable. In Taiwan, we do just a paper ballot. It's hand count. They said, the viewer said, Chinese Communist Party always want to sabotage our democratic process. They were just one water away. They come here, they exert their influence by our politicians and so on and so on. But they just they cannot mess up with our voting process. They said, we can fix this problem. When can, American fix their problem? I said, well, honest word, honest comment, you are right. We shall be able to fix our problem. Just say as good as Taiwan.
I saw quite a few of viewers just left the comment.
I love to see. I love to see you answer. Start a Patreon account party and a new party. And all right, actually, it's okay. Leader and the Republican Party already.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I just we each we should entitled to have our own opinion, just for discussion's sake. I'm not a politician here. I'm not even pushing for any direction. I'm just asking you this question. For those of you who want an independent patriot party, Trump has 93% or 95% approval rate inside the party. So basically, everybody supported him, right? Literally, he could veto, he could remove any Republican elected officials by just how to say, jumping to the primary.
Yeah, but I can understand how people feel like they want a new party because they are disappointed with the Republican Party. So I could understand, why you say that you want a new party.
Yeah, but think about it, when you have 95% approval rate, you are the party.
Yeah, or just like Rudy Giuliani said that Trump will just reform the party. How do you think?
Yeah.
I saw people saying, Kathy down for president. I'm honored, but I couldn't run for president, unfortunately. And I like that. And it said that we and Kathy, leaders of truth. Well, really honored.
Yeah. If we can make the job of truly be the leader of the truth and trusted truthful journalist, that will be our highest goal. That's our effort, our job in the next 4 years. We want to do that with you. Thank you. Please click the likes and the subscription and propel this program to go far and wide and see you tomorrow. How about that?
Yeah. We're really facing a challenge with the subscriptions. We don't know whether they just took it off or people left. But if you can just click on the like, subscribe, and share this channel.
Last word for those people who are very disappointed and who are saddened. I fully understand it. But just look at us. Look at two of us. We came from communist China. They did not destroy our spirit, right? we're here fighting for 20 years. We're mainly fighting the tyranny of the CCP in China. We built a network of 120 shortwave radio that target China, all circling China. We beam signal into that with no single dollar from the government. That's what we did. And in this past years, we start to addressing the issues of this country, of the U.S., which we thought it was always a safe haven. We went through all those. They couldn't destroy our spirit, and President Trump's spirit was not destroyed or even dampened. So let's just stay confident and stay stay
faithful.
Yeah, stay faithful, right? Just look at us. We're not. We don't feel saddened. We feel a lot of things to do. This is a time for us to grow strong, and we feel very good about the journey ahead.
Yeah, and we can do it. You can do it. We do it together.
All right.
All right. So take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.